Hello guys, I said I'd be back with another video. As we've not really had much going on with Grimsby, I thought what I'd do is my League 2 table predictions. I think I've got it right in front of me here. There it is. Oh, it's upside down, but there it is. And we've got 1 to 24. I'm going to read them to you as you saw a little glimpse of them, but I'll explain why I've gone for who I've gone for. So, shall we crack on? I think we should. For me, the team that I think will finish bottom this season is Harrogate Town. Harrogate have been punching above their weight big time in the last 2 or 3 years since they've got promoted. Whether they'll have enough on this occasion to do much damage, we'll have to wait and see. But I say Harrogate Town for bottom. The transfer deals have been okay so far, but and obviously there's still a month to go. But I just think Harrogate may struggle to stay in the league this year. So Harrogate, bottom of the table for me. Just for Karen as well, please do not take offence if I put your team lower than you expect, because knowing my luck, I'll be getting these very wrong. So, please do not think it is a dig on your team. It's just, as I've been hearing transfers coming in and other clubs doing business, it's just my opinion, and everyone's entitled to theirs. The second team I believe that will join Harrogate in the National League next season is Bromley. Quite simple, really. What might help them is keeping a lot of their squad from last year together, which may help them. But the additions that Bromley have made, there hasn't been that many. So it'll be interesting to see, what Bromley can do. But I'm sure they're going to want to be a spoiler. And I just don't think Bromley will have enough to stay in the league. Because this league is, you'd say, probably weaker than last year. Probably a more closer league this year than last. So Bromley will go down in the second relegation place in 23rd. Next team is Newport County. I put 22nd. Again, they're a team that could do so much better, but you saw really how they struggled. I know they brought in Anthony Glennon from Grimsby. I know they've still got Bryn Morris there as well that can hit a belter from 35 yards. But it's the depth of Newport for me, which could be the massive trouble for them. And I fancy Newport, unfortunately, to struggle again, but I think they'll just have enough to stay in the league. And I like Newport as a team. I do wish them well. But I just feel like Newport will just do enough, but won't set the world alight. Next team after that in 21st, I've gone Colchester. Now, even though the Cowleys are still at Colchester, they could easily go down, really. They're a team that have been hovering around relegation for the last 3-4 years. I think, again, they might just do enough to stay in League 2. The Cowleys will obviously want to push them even further. But I just have a feeling it's going to be another season of struggle for the U's, and so I put them in 21st, just avoiding relegation again. Now, these next three may surprise some people, and like I said, my selections may surprise some people, but like I said, I could be very, very wrong by the end of this. My next one in 20th is Morecambe. Now, you may ask, why have I put Morecambe so low on my table prediction? I put Morecambe so low that they signed 15 players in one day, which they've had a transfer embargo lifted, so they're able to bring 15 players in one day. You have to wonder how they're going to get them to gel with so many new faces. So many new faces. And that's where I think they might struggle. So for me, I put Morecambe in 20th. They've got a few good players that know the level, so they could easily get higher than that. But just through the exodus of players they've had to bring in, it's just whether they can make it gel. It's the only thing. So 20th for Morecambe, in my opinion. I'm actually putting Cheltenham next, 19th. Now, why such a shock? Well, they've lost Errol Clark, and they've lost George Lloyd, and they've lost a few other decent players. You hope it doesn't happen, but you think there may be a hangover for Cheltenham. Do I think I put them maybe a little bit too low? Possibly. But again, I'm looking at, it will depend with Cheltenham how they start the season. If they start strongly, because people don't like going to Cheltenham, it's a tough place to go. If they start well and can make their home form count, but I think one of the relegated sides really will struggle in their first season back. So I put Cheltenham in 19th, but like I said, Cheltenham fans, please do not have a go. Obviously, you're going to believe I should put them higher. But I'm probably going to get it from the next set of fans as well. Because just above Cheltenham, in 18th, I put Fleetwood. I put the Cod Army in 18th. Good team. And obviously, again, it's how teams that come down start. If they start well, they could definitely get a lot higher than what I put them, but it's whether they will. They start off against my side, Grimsby, on the opening day at home. But again, if they get their home form sorted, they could most definitely get higher than this. Again, I've probably put them maybe a few places lower than people probably thought I would put them. But again, it's all down to how they start. And I think it could be a tough season for the teams that have come down. So I'll put Fleetwood in 18th, but they could very, very easily prove me wrong. Next, Accrington. They're a team in 17th, Accrington. They're a team where you don't know what you're going to get. They started the season so well last year and then tailed off. If you do that too often in this league, you will get found out. Again, it might be underestimating Accrington, but I just don't see enough from Accrington. They've signed a couple of decent players. They've obviously lost a few players. This league is tough, so if I've put your team low, and I know a lot of the promoted sides will probably be a bit disappointed that I've put them so low, but again, I think with Accrington, it'll be home form again. If they're solid at home, they can get higher than that. But for me, just for how they tailed off a lot of last year, I'm putting them low. I'm sorry. 17th for me. Next, we go to Johnny Jackson's Wimbledon. I put them in 16th place. These next few, I was really, really undecided as to where to put them. Wimbledon, obviously, if they, again, good home record, they could be a lot higher than this. This is what I mean by it was a very, very difficult decision to put them down as low as this. Wouldn't surprise me if they ended in top 10, it really wouldn't. But as we go on, you'll see why I've put certain teams in certain places. Wimbledon, it'll be down to the home form again. I think we'll make it. Will make their decision. I've been kind of very reserved and put them low to kind of say to them, prove me wrong. But I think that Wimbledon could do higher than that, but I put them in 16th. This is a surprise for some people. I put Tranmere in 15th. Now, obviously, Nigel Atkins is still at Tranmere, and he really got them going at the back end of last year and in the middle of last year. And, he hasn't made as many additions as I'm sure he would have liked. Obviously, there's still a month yet to go of the transfer window. But I think that they always sort of bring some good players in when they get the chance. It's whether Tranmere can do that throughout the season. I've gone again, probably quite conservative, and put them as low as 15th. They could easily push up. Like I said, most of this league is like that. And it'll all be about who can get the consistency. I'll put Tranmere 15th, but it wouldn't surprise me if they ended higher. I was going to put this next team higher than where I've put them. But I had a little rethink, and I've gone, again, more conservative on these because you don't know how they're going to go. Salford have made, Salford are the team, they have made some really good signings, actually. So I could have underestimated them slightly, but on last year, that's really all you can sort of go on. I've put them 14th in this, with the possibility that they could easily break top 10, and if they start well, they could very, very easily be top half, top 7 at a push. But I just think Salford won't quite have it. Good players, but it's where they can gel. And for me, Salford in 14th, in a way, would be an overall improvement from last year, especially until the turn of the year. Salford were really nowhere to be seen. In 13th place, this shows how unbiased this is, I put my club, Grimsby. Have I been probably over expectation? This is what I mean by was and ahhing. I wasn't going to put Grimsby that high because I don't think we deserve to be that high. We finished 21st last season. Appalling season last season. I might have been a little bit generous, to be fair to Grimsby, but no way I was going to put them in the top half. No way in the world I was going to say playoffs. I'm saying 13th would be a respectable finish, especially after last year. David Artell has made some intriguing signings, no massive signings as of yet, and obviously still with a month to go, you never know. But I'm going to put my club, Grimsby Town, in 13th as I think that shows I could have put them even lower. because with the way they've been, the way they were last year, I think I may have been generous. So 13th for the Mariners. Hopefully proved me wrong, but I wasn't going to put them top half. And I was never going to put them top half. But I could have put them anywhere between where I put them and where Fleetwood are. So I could have put them anywhere. And I wouldn't have felt sort of wrong about it. Just above my team is the final final relegated team, which is Carlisle. They're the highest that I think will be in the league. I think Carlisle will be the highest. I don't think they'll push for the playoffs. They've made again a few decent signings, as everyone does. Everyone believes so when they make signings, and I just think Carlisle will be comfortable mid-table at worst, but I don't see Carlisle pushing. I think last year when they were in League One, I think it kind of proves that maybe they went up a little too soon, where they weren't ready for League One. I think to come straight back down's proof they weren't ready. But I do think a top half finish for Carlisle is not out the realms of possibility. Next in 11th, I put Barrow. And the reason why I put Barrow as high as 11th is I know they no longer have Pete Wild there. But I'll be honest, I like Barrow. A lot of people don't like the stadium, but I like Barrow as a team. And they're a team, again, that punches above their weight, I believe, but that they're starting to make themselves into a solid League Two outfit again. They've lost a few really decent players. They've brought in decent quality as well. That may be a little too far, but we'll wait and see. I think Barrow are a good side though, and I expect them to have a solid season. I've put them just inside the top half, and I don't regret that at all. They could easily end up in the bottom four like we did, but I think they're a little bit too solid for that, because Barrow is a tricky place to go. So I'm putting Barrow in 11th. Now we move to the top 10 in the division. Now this was harder than I thought it was going to be, as to who I thought was going to finish where. And I knew it was going to be difficult, and it proved to be. But these 10, I just feel like if you look at the fan bases of some of these and the quality that they do possess or have possessed, there might be one or two surprises in there. But we'll start the top 10 with the team I placed in 10th, and that team is Swindon. Now, Swindon have been doing some real good business over the summer so far. They are proving to be a handful. And why not? Is my take on it. They're kind of like, I won't go as far as saying a sleeping giant, but they are, they're a bit undecided as to what they were going to do. But getting Matt Smith in from Sutton is a big reason why. Harry Smith, sorry, not Matt Smith. That's it. I know I get one of them wrong in the end. But Harry is a good striker. That was a good bit of business for Swindon. And they seem to, at least from the outside in, looks like they're starting to get things sort of together and see what they can do. Obviously, they did lose McEachran to Grimsby earlier in the window, but they're a team that, like I said, I think are destined to do well. I don't think they'll push for playoffs, but I think they'll be in and around it. These next two were difficult again, because this league, I think Crawley showed last year that this league is not easy to predict. You would never have expected Crawley to have got promoted, but they did. And although their team seemed to have been decimated from who got them up. In ninth place, though, just above Swindon, I've gone for the Gills of Gillingham. Why? Because I think if they had the kind of defence that they had last year, if they could just up their goal involvement and goals for, that could be a little bit undervaluing them. But I do think that they're a solid team, especially at Priestfield, and it's one of those things that they could easily push for playoffs this season, probably hoping for playoffs this season, and but I think they'll just miss out. But like I said, this league is very, very difficult to say who will finish where. In eighth place, I've actually gone for the team from the Black Country, shall we say. I've gone for Walsall. And I've gone for Walsall because the way they finished last year came out of absolutely nowhere. Because for the first half of the season, Walsall were down near the bottom where my team was. I think Matt Sadler's definitely steadied the ship at Walsall, but I think Walsall are one of those that if they can get momentum on their side, which is what they need. I know they're a bit concerned because of a few of the signings that they have brought in. I know they weren't thrilled with Josh Gordon when he came back in, but they did make a real smart signing in the way of experience when they signed Albert Adoma. I believe it was last week. You might look at his age, 36, and go, well, he's old, but the level of experience that man is going to be able to bring to Walsall with his experience from obviously Aston Villa, Middlesbrough, places such as like that. It was at QPR last season. Experience is needed so much, and I think that could help Walsall. I may have overdone them, but whether Walsall fans would think that 8th isn't good enough, I don't know. But if you look at some of the teams that I've put above them, you will see why. In 7th, just above the Saddlers, I've gone for Crewe. The reason why is, again, they're a solid team. They're always a consistent team, Crewe, especially at this level. They're always sort of like playoff-ish contenders. They're not really top 3 contenders a lot of the time, but they are, they are definitely promotion contenders, if not automatic. And, they got 5th last year. I don't think they'll do that again, but I also don't think they will drop enough to be out of the playoffs by the end of the season. They have bought Omar Bogle, who had to be fair, a very good season at Newport last year. He was well into double figures there for them. I think it's 15, I think he got. So a couple from the penalty spot as well. So, Crew not really made any massive losses, I would say, to their squad. Not what would stand out and go, that's really going to weaken them. So I think Crew will be thereabouts again. They always are in League Two. They're a solid top half League Two team majority of the time. So to see them in the playoffs again would not surprise me. In sixth, I keep doing this. I keep doing this every single year in League Two. I put Bradford in there. Now, when we talk about sleeping giants, Bradford are just that. Now, people say, well, but if you look at their stadium, it's not a League Two stadium. Bradford are such a, I'd imagine, such a frustrating team to watch because fans expect, so much, and they've got the right to expect as much as they do. But what it is, they've been able to keep certain important players, such as Billy Poynton has recently signed a 2-year deal. Halliday, their fullback, has also extended his contract. And, they've obviously still got Andy Cook. Again, I look at Andy Cook and go, while you've got somebody like him in the side that can get you goals, they're always going to be around about it. But I think it's a big season for Graham Alexander, this. I think they need a playoff push and maybe a playoff finish at the end of the day. They should be at least a division higher, but you have to earn it, and you don't have a given right in leagues like this. But Bradford, I think, I don't know whether it'll be their year, but I do think they'll be up around the top end of League Two this season, if they can just get things to click. In fifth place, I've probably overdone these. Notts County, I've gone fifth. They finished 14th last season, so you're thinking that's a massive jump. I know they've lost Macaulay Langstaff, which is going to be a big loss for them, but they've still got players like Kedwin Scott, and obviously Dave McGoldrick is still there, who even at his veteran age can still cause trouble in attack. I think with what they're sort of doing, Notts have to learn to defend. Because if they had been able to defend better last season, they would have been up there anyway. And I think their defensive work will be better this year. And if they can sort of spread the goals around, they've still got Jody Jones. They've still got players that can cause havoc to most teams, and that's why I've put them as high as fifth. But as League Two showed last year, they finished 14th. So it's all about consistency. The top four, now we move into this, these weren't as easy, but was also easy, if you know what I mean. It wasn't easy as in positions, but it was sort of like what you sort of expect. In fourth, I put Port Vale, and one of the simple reasons, Dalmore. I like Dalmore. I think he's a fantastic coach for this level. He tried to get something going at Port Vale last year, was not able to save them, so they're the side that I think will make the biggest impact of the teams that are that are the ones that are the biggest people that will make it. They've obviously signed Hennigan from Fleetwood after his exit. Very, very good defender. Port Vale and Vale have just, they've signed buyers from Sheffield Wednesday, which obviously Darren Moore knows from his time at Sheffield Wednesday. Vale are one of those teams that I think in League Two it'll be they'll definitely be up there challenging, and it wouldn't surprise me at the end of the season if they did get automatic promotion. To be truthful, but we'll have to see what they can do. They have signed Talaj from Aldershot, who's a very, very good striker. He was in the National League last season, so that's another bit of good business by Port Vale. I think they're going to be thereabouts. As I said, watch me get this extremely wrong, and no one I put anywhere ends up where I put them. The top three, I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. I've put MK Dons to win the league. I know that will annoy some people going, why have you got MK Dons? I like the way their manager plays football, for one. I think if they can get it to click, then it will be done. I put Doncaster in second place to go. Why? Because the run that they were on, the second half of the season, was classed as, in my eyes, ridiculous. And probably if the season had gone on from January and had gone through to May, just that, they'd have got automatic promotion. They were very unlucky, actually, because I thought they were the team that were going to get up, and with the run they're on, and they only missed out on penalties in the semi-finals. So it's MK Dons first, Doncaster second, and the final team to get promoted automatically is Chesterfield. I'm just going to say one word: Paddy Madden. I'll tell you why that was such a key signing for them. Paddy knows this level inside out. They've got other players that work really well together as a team. Paul Cook knows his level like the back of his hand as well. And those three teams, Chesterfield in third, Doncaster in second, and MK Dons to win the league. But to be honest with you, I think that'll be the 1, 2, 3. I'd put them in that order, but it also wouldn't surprise me if Chesterfield won the league. It wouldn't surprise me if Doncaster won the league. And it wouldn't surprise me if MK Dons, because they've all got managers that like to play attractive football, and with the quality of players they've brought in, you would expect them to be challenging at the top end. So I'll take you through my League 2 predictions one more time from bottom to top, and then I'll leave it to you guys, League 2 fans, what you honestly think is going to be the answer. So in 24th and 23rd, it's Harrogate and Bromley. Newport in 22nd, Colchester 21st, Morecambe 20th, Cheltenham 19th, Fleetwood 18th, Accrington Stanley 17th, Wimbledon 16th, Tranmere 15th, Salford 14th, Grimsby 13th, Carlisle 12th, Barrow 11th, Swindon 10th, Gillingham 9th, Walsall 8th, Crewe 7th, Bradford 6th, Notts County 5th, Port Vale 4th, Chesterfield 3rd, Doncaster 2nd, MK Dons to win the league. Now, guys, any League 2 subscribers of mine and people that view this, let me know what your thoughts are on all this. If I placed your team lower than you thought that they should be, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think it should be. And Mariners fans as well. Let me know what you guys honestly think to where I put us. Let me know as well down below what you think. But I think this is going to be a competitive league. And it's all going to be about, I believe it's going to be about people's home form. And who loses the least away from home, I think, is going to decide what happens in this league. But let me know your comments down below, you League 2 lovely people. And I'll be doing predictions of the game weeks throughout the season. So keep an eye out for that as well. And it's edging close. It's only about 3 weeks away now. And the first league games of the season are underway on the 10th of August. So leave your comments down below. Leave your opinions and let me know how wrong you think I am or how right you think I am. And it's been a pleasure, guys. I'll see you all very, very soon with more League 2 content. In the meantime, guys, I'll see you soon. Ta-ta for now. TTFN. And up the Mariners as well with me, as you can see. The Mariners flag on the back there. There we are. There it is. Lovely. And and I'll see you guys soon for some more League 2 content and the Grimsby content coming as well. So in the meantime, guys, thank you very much for listening to me waffle and my opinion. And in the meantime, I'll see you soon. Up the Mariners. I'm going to say that in this video because that's what I believe. And I will see you guys very soon in the next one. In the meantime, guys, hit the like button, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Give me all the good stuff, the bad stuff, and the bits in the middle. And I'll see you soon with another video. Ta-da for now. Bye-bye.